Welcome to my Yosemite vlog. Unfortunately, this is probably more about the trip to Yosemite than anything else because I got stuck in the Charlottesville airport for over 5 hours. I think probably 6 hours. So when I finally got on the plane, this was the third plane they had tried to get us on, and it ended up getting me to Chicago at 2 in the morning. They did put me up in a hotel, which was very nice of them, and my flight to Fresno wasn't until 8 p.m. So I got to spend the day exploring Chicago. That was pretty fun. I found out that a day pass for public transport was fairly cheap. I don't remember exactly how much, but I went to this fun little coffee shop and then just wandered around. And of course, I had to go find the bean. So I pulled up my map and figured I would just walk there and encountered Trump Tower.
I didn't
that
come
was
here on purpose. I'm on my way somewhere else, but
yeah. So found the bean. It was really fun to people watch there. And then I realized I needed lunch, so I stopped at this place across the street and then headed out to like the Chicago Museum of Cultural Center. I don't know. Then I headed back to the airport, was really worried that I wasn't going to make it onto my flight, even though I was definitely going to make it. So I just hung out in the airport for a little bit at O'Hare. Finally got to Yosemite, and so the adventure has begun.
waterfall there. He's waiting his turn to come back down.
Yeah, so we walked around quite a bit. My sister was kind enough to pick really short hikes so that my one day in the park we could see as much as possible, and because I have a bad knee and quite frankly don't love hiking, she very kindly chose shorter hikes.
Squirrels don't care. Words of Jacob Fan on this day, September something 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 2025.
Jacob and I were messing around with this little I guess scale model of one of the waterfalls, and he had his water bottle on him, so we just poured some water down to see it flow. And then we drove up to, I don't know exactly where, but we hiked to Taft's Point. So it was probably about an hour drive. And we stopped at this overlook. Jacob was covering his face because there was a bus there that had some exhaust smell, and he and I both don't really like that smell. So yeah, it was a nice drive up there. We saw a lot of scenery change, actually, and some burnt out spots of the forest. So it was kind of cool to see regrowth there and start to see the change of the landscape as we went up the mountain. I was messing with my mom on the way up there. I was asking her to cheese, and she said no.
Mom, smile. Cheese. No cheese. Okay.
But we got up to Taft's Point, and I could not capture just how high up in the air we were and how huge everything is on this phone camera. Like, I tried, so I have all these panning videos, and not a single one captures it perfectly. There's this very unflattering video of me that you're about to see, and yeah, I was just unwell at how high off the ground we were. I kept looking off the edge, and I was saying that the bottoms of my feet really hurt because anytime I think about being really high up or just see a height, like, the soles of my feet almost feel like they're willing themselves to, like, stick to the ground, like I'm a lizard or something. So yeah, I was making very weird faces, but it was mostly out of fear for the edge. Like, I very nearly went over, but even when no one was around, I was kind of just afraid I would just fall forward and drop. So I did not go up to, like, the railed part of the peak. There's a brief, like, half-second clip of a California quail. They're so funny looking, and they make the silliest noises. And then we went over to some little loop to see, like, the Half Dome and El Capitan, and then we went to the area of the park that has the sequoias, which was so cool. That was definitely a dream come true. They are so spectacular in person, and we like darted up to the parking lot to catch the bus over to this area of the park, and it was so worth it. We got there like right as the sun was setting, so the sky was really pretty. It wasn't like super bright. It was just so cool to see these huge trees that have been around like basically as long as this country has existed. And some of them were burnt, some of them were just like there, you know, and it was pretty cool. So yeah, that was my very quick trip to Yosemite. I spent probably more time in the airport than I did anywhere else, but it was still so worth it. So I highly recommend going to Yosemite, even if it's for 24 hours, because there's so much you can do. I mean, there's just so much I didn't even get to see. And I hope to go back someday. So thanks for joining me for this trip to Yosemite.